This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Monday, July the 6th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that Barbados is being spared a national shutdown today, as had been anticipated. However, almost the entire public sector will be thrown into major dislocation. That's because the executive of the powerful Barbados Workers Union last night decided that its support for the National Union of Public Workers mass protest this morning would not include a call out of its members in the private sector at this stage, nor will it affect those working at the ports of entry, the Barbados Water Authority, nor the Transport Board. However, BWU General Secretary Tony Moore is urging all others in the public sector to down tools and hit the streets in solidarity with the NUPW's dispute over the retirement of 10 employees of the state-owned Barbados Investment and Development Corporation.
At this point in time, our initial support will not extend to the private sector. If or when that moment comes, we will be sure to write the Barbados Employers Confederation and to follow all established protocols in place for informing of that type of action. We also will not be ratcheting up at this point to include our ports of entry, the Water Authority, or the Transport Board. However, all other areas of the public sector and statutory boards will be called out to support tomorrow's action. This support will be led by the Executive Council and staff of the Barbados Workers Union.
The mass protest will begin at 8:30 this morning from Queen's Park with support from the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations, and possibly members of civil society. The Barbados Association of Medical Practitioners, while providing moral backing, will not be asking its members to withdraw their labor. When the protest march leaves Queen's Park, the procession will travel along such streets as Wharf Road, Princess Alice Highway, Redmond Drive, Cheapside Road, Broad Street, River Road, Lower Calma Rock, and end at the NUPW headquarters on Dalkeith Road. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Frandel Stewart warned the union against putting the island into what he described as reverse gear by having a national strike. He spoke on the issue at the just concluded CARICOM summit over the weekend at the Hilton. Labour Minister Dr. Esther Bayer and Minister in charge of the BIDC, Donville Innes, also commented. Our Fernella Redderburn reports.
Commenting publicly on the impasse for the first time, Prime Minister Stewart made it clear that a strike would not be the best way of promoting the long, medium or short-term interest of thousands of workers across the country.
I think that wisdom prescribes and maturity demands that we try to exhaust all of the remedies at our disposal and aim to resolve our differences without resort to any mechanism that could result in a reversal of the gains which we have been making on the national economic front.
He also defended his silence on the matter, saying he has not been asked to intervene. But the Democratic Labour Party leader says he is ready to address the issue if it is referred to him.
The matter has not been referred to me. My intervention has not been requested or invoked. When I spoke to the Minister of Labour on the matter, her intervention was not invoked. The intervention of the Chief Labor Officer was not invoked, according to what the Minister of Labor told me. So I do not know, there's no evidence available to me that all of our procedures, all of our accepted procedures have failed or have broken down, and that the only resort left for the union is to call a national strike.
Labour Minister Dr. Esther Bayer commented on today's planned action, saying it would not solve the matter and called for more dialogue in an effort to reach a resolution.
So I think that we have within my ministry and the Labour Department the mechanism for exploring the problems here and looking for alternatives and solutions. I'm not sure that the solutions that are being sought will even be found through a national protest action.
So what you want to tell them, hold straight and speak to you first?
Yeah, I think we should look to consult more, to dialogue more before we get to that. I'm not saying that you know, the power isn't in the hands of the people, that they have that opportunity. You know, when we've gotten to that, I think that is when you've exhausted all other mechanisms. We haven't yet done so, and I don't think we've even explored other options and other possible solutions to this problem.
Minister with responsibility for the BIDC, Donville Innes, described the move as regrettable, but made it clear that he would not allow threats of industrial action to distract him from running his ministry.
The issues regarding the BIDC and the National Union of Public Workers is indeed an important issue and a national issue. I have done my utmost best to engage both parties on the matters. Obviously, the union have clearly indicated this is much more than about the BIDC. It's not for them. It certainly can't be about the BIDC any longer, because the BIDC has conformed with the laws of Barbados. And therefore, if the unions quite regrettably wish to take industrial action, then all I can say is that it is regrettable. But I also have responsibility for international business. And matters pertinent to international business cannot be put on the back burner or rest one side because of threats of industrial action.
In other news now, the biological father of the 6-year-old boy who died in hospital a week ago under questionable circumstances says he now has nothing to live for. John King, the father of Jahan King of Jackson St. Michael, delivered the news to his foster mother, Ina Brown, in a letter addressed to Jahan and written from a Canadian prison where he is currently incarcerated. The boy's father, who is expected to be released from jail in a few weeks' time, still has no idea that his only begotten child had been the victim of reported abuse. His foster mother says she is now fearful of how he will react when he gets with a full understanding of the circumstances surrounding the demise of his son.
I am not going to tell you all what it is. I hope and pray that the Lord give him enough strength to put God in front, get some counseling. I will try to get some counseling for him. That's the most I can do. I don't know how he can face it because he's not here.
Until you get back home.
He's going to hear and he's going to see. Because it's all over. I have it in the picture, the computer.
Social media, all over.
It's all over.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
BT Grapova Superstar. BT Grapova Superstar. How was sound bad? How was sound?
Wonderful. Actually, you can enter that in the competition.
So I ain't sound bad?
No.
Oh my.
Get a video and we go clear.
A video?
Yes, a video.
How long the video gonna be?
2 minutes.
Not 5, not 6?
No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, that's all you need.
So wait, you and the fellas like you that just do this thing every year when it ain't already?
Well, I don't know with them, but it's spontaneous, you know?
Well, what is this for you? Would that mean I can try to submit mine and the judging starts at 6, but the deadline is the 5th at 4:30.
And you need to get it in.
Get it in. Look at the screen there, look. That is where you could enter because
right there.
BT Grapova Superstar. BT Grapova Superstar.
I like that. You have a chance to win this competition.
Against you?
I spontaneous.
Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range
Welcome back with news from the region now, and we go straight to correspondent Marie-Claire Williams, who is standing by with a review of the just-ended CARICOM summit in Barbados.
CARICOM leaders ended their annual summit here, with the new chairman, Prime Minister Frendo Stewart, hailing the talks as successful. But it was the long-running border dispute between Guyana and Venezuela that dominated the talks. Stewart says while CARICOM stands behind Guyana, the matter cannot be settled easily.
Border disputes are inherently very difficult. And therefore, what one has to aim for as the dispute or the differences continue is for a cooling of tempers whenever they flare up. We do not think that there can be any compromise so far as Guyana's territorial borders are concerned. But that is not a matter for CARICOM to decide.
Guyana's President David Granger says he will be taking that message to his people.
I will tell them that CARICOM is united, is solidly behind ensuring that there is no disruption to the peace and stability of the region, that it is in support of the sovereignty of the states of the region, and that as far as the specific decree is concerned, that is the fly in the ointment.
The Dominican Republic's decision to deport thousands of people of Haitian descent was also high on the agenda.
It has to be said that the Dominican Republic, from time to time, has given assurances upon which they have not delivered. And the Prime Minister of Barbados has made reference to that. And we will continue to address this matter.
Regional leaders also met with the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, the Commonwealth Secretary General Kamalesh Sharma, and President of Panama Juan Carlos Valera. Marie-Claire Williams reporting for Barbados Today.
And finally, on the international scene, the people of Greece have rejected the terms of an international bailout. Even before all of the votes were in last night, the early results of the referendum showed that Greeks had voted decisively against the new bailout plan. And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.